Remember that you deserve someone that hears you out and sees you for your true worth. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Dana, and on this channel I'll be giving lifestyle tips, reviews, and dating advice. And if you enjoy the content that's on my channel, then please subscribe now. Today we have a dating related video, and we are going to talk about how do we spot the red flags in our relationship. Is it repetitive? Is it a norm? Are they ever going to stop what they're doing? What happens is that sometimes we get into a relationship and we ignore the signs that are right in front of us. We think that we have found a person. But as time goes by, we realize that they are starting to act a certain way and doing certain things without explaining themselves or without communicating. As I talked about in previous videos, communication is the #1 priority in order to maintain a good relationship. At the end of the day, it's between you and your partner. What's around you does not matter. It's your job to maintain the balance and harmony for the relationship to work. So it doesn't matter what his friends or her friends are saying. You can get the advice from them, but the person you dedicate most of your time and energy to is your partner. It's your partner and you. So it's very important to communicate when there's a problem. Don't neglect it or ignore it. Don't go on a trip or a getaway thinking that the problem is going to solve itself, because you're only going to make things worse. So what do we do when we notice our partner is acting a certain way when there's an argument? If they just get up and disappear instead of facing the problem, or when they lie to us but they won't own up to it and instead make up stories. Let's get into it. #1, they make important decisions without involving you. This one is a big red flag, and that's because if they are doing it early on in the relationship, think about what's going to happen in the future. And are you actually going to sit around and just bear it and let them treat you like your voice doesn't matter? To give you an example, if your partner has decided that he's moving out of town while you've been dating for a while, and he's just decided this by himself without preparing you or without discussing it with you, or if your partner has booked himself a long trip somewhere that isn't work related and he's just giving you the news a day in advance, both these examples are wrong. This shouldn't be happening. Always ask yourself, well, how would they feel if I had done the same thing to them? And ask yourself, is this something you deserve? And it's even worse if you are living together. You live in the same place. It's the space you're sharing together. And that place needs maintenance that is required from both of you. So if one just randomly gets up and leaves, it's unfair for the other side. #2, they lie but won't admit it. When you get that feeling that they lie about something, it is because they probably are. We are no saints. Sometimes we get caught up in a lie and it's normal. But if your partner is lying about serious matters, they're twisting the story and do it repeatedly, that's a big no. For example, they tell you that they're just going to have a dinner with a friend, but then you find out from another source that they were actually out clubbing the whole night. Or when they shut off their phone and you know it because you tried calling them, but it sent you straight to voicemail, but they tell you that they just couldn't get reception. This is dishonesty. It's unfair for a lot of reasons. They should always ask how you feel about it. Are you comfortable with that? It feels 100 times better hearing the truth. And especially when the truth is coming from them and you don't have to find it from someone else. Your partner's lies can come out in different shapes and forms. They can just lie about general things, but they can also lie about serious matters. And the common thing that we can agree on is that it makes them dishonest. How can we ever trust them? Be aware of this and save yourself from unnecessary pain. #3, they blame you for everything. This is probably one of the most common toxic person traits, and it's sad how common this issue is. They cannot own up to their mistakes, and instead they make you the problem. You are the bad guy, you need help. It always ends up being your fault somehow. Don't fall into that trap. Don't buy into their manipulation. No one wants to be in a position when the finger is constantly being pointed towards them. If your partner doesn't care about solving an issue that involves both of your attention, if they choose to make an easy way for themselves and blame you for everything, then they don't appreciate you. They don't care about your voice or feelings. And you deserve so much better than that. Don't lose your self-respect over someone. Number 4, they can't keep a promise. When they say things like, "I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you, I promise I won't ever do it again, this is the last time, it'll never happen in the future," but you heard them saying it more than once before. It is easier said than done in this case. And when you get to a point when your partner is repeating those actions, they're probably not going to change and will most likely repeat the same mistakes without learning from them. It is pretty obvious that they cannot keep a promise at this point, because if they really cared, if you were important enough for them, then they would make the effort. Number 5, they constantly change their mind. They wake up one day all happy and excited, telling you how much they love you and all of that. Then later that day, they flip for no reason and act all distant and in their zone. If you've made plans together, they may agree to that, and then the next day they'll change their mind again and look for a way out of those plans. And of course, followed by some random excuses. If your partner constantly changes their mind, starting with small matters and through the way they view life and setting goals for themselves, then they probably have unsolved issues with themselves, because this is how a child behaves. A child is someone that constantly changes their mind because they cannot take responsibility. But as an adult, as your partner for life, we expect them to be responsible for their actions and stand behind their words. So to conclude everything we've talked about, all of these things mentioned are behaviors that will most likely be repeated. A person cannot change unless they are aware of their problem and are willing to seriously work on it and take matters into their own hands. But on the other hand, your job should not be lecturing them and teaching them how to change. You want to date someone responsible and be on the same page with them. Make sure to not ignore those signs, and if it doesn't feel right, then it's probably not. Remember that you deserve someone that hears you out and sees you for your true worth. I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to give it a like. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!